My friends, today we're going to be deep diving into a long overdue episode, the 4 types of guitar amplifiers. Now, these have shaped the sound of audio for generations, and we're going to be taking this all the way from the warm sound of tubes to the new age digital amp modelers and everything in between. And to take it one step further, we're going to give away one of these amplifiers to a lucky person that's watching this, so make sure that you stay tuned for that. Yep, I know, that's really exciting. But before we go too deep into that rabbit hole, a lot of people like to say that they can tell the difference between these amps, so we're gonna put you guys to the test. Can you tell the difference between a tube amplifier, a solid-state amplifier, a hybrid amplifier, and a digital modeler? We're gonna be sending the same DI to all 4 of these head only, and we're going to leave it up to you to decide if you can tell the difference between them. So make sure that you keep your ears peeled as we go through this test, and let's get right into it. Alright, now that you have that in your subconscious, I need you to be a conscious sub. Hit that subscribe button, notification bell, and like button if you're enjoying the content and like when we focus on guitar related stuff. So if you've been questioning and wondering, my transition game is still crazy. And I know a bunch of you saw my recent Kemper video that I did, whether you should still have this thing in the year 2023. Well, Liquid Profiles did come out. I know you guys are gonna have questions about it and you're gonna flame me for not mentioning it in the video, but we're gonna talk about it a little bit later on, so stay tuned for that as well. First things first, tube amplifiers. Tube amplifiers are the heart and soul of guitar tone in most people's opinion. At their core, they use vacuum tubes to amplify the guitar signal, delivering sweet, rich, and organic tones that make your fingers dance on a fretboard. From blues to rock, the warm embrace of tubes gives you nice overtones and harmonic saturation that really brings life to your riffs. Some iconic tube amps, the Fender Twin Reverb, Marshall JCM 800, Box AC15. Actually, come take a walk with me. I just happen to own these and they're some of my favorite amps. Each of these amps has its own unique tonal signature and they capture the spirit of different musical eras, The feel and harmonic richness, big plus. Having to retube amplifiers, big con. In the example that we heard, by the way, earlier, C was the tube amp. It's always C, isn't it? So let's listen back to that now so you can hear it compared to the other ones. Pay attention to the characteristics of it and maybe you can kind of weed out what the other ones are. There's definitely something about tube amplifiers, man. It's just never gonna go away. But time to jump into the world of solid state. When I think of solid-state amplifiers, they're pretty much the workhorse of the amp world. Unlike tubes, they use transistors and circuitry to amplify the signal, resulting in a clean, precise, and powerful sound. These are perfect for genres that have a tight sound like punk, rock, and metal, but you gotta remember there are some that are awesome for jazz as well, like the Roland Jazz Chorus. Solid-state amps like the Marshall Valve State and the Roland Jazz Chorus, they've all earned their place in the scene and kind of give the sounds of certain eras. I also have these in my live room. The Valve State is not mine. It belongs to my friend Flynn, who works over at Shure. He's actually selling that thing, so if anybody wants a really stupid deal on one of those, leave it in the comments or message me or something. I'll hook you guys up because it's taking up space. And he moved to Chicago. Solid state amp was example A, by the way, so let's compare the solid state amp to the tube amplifier now. Both of them are Marshalls, so let's give it a go. And one thing to remember about solid-state amps before moving forward is they are extremely reliable, rarely have any issues, and you don't have to deal with tubes and maintenance as much. So a lot of people prefer that. If you can have a solid-state amp that sounds as good as a tube amp, which, you know, a lot of people think is rare. I think it's kind of rare too. But when that does happen, it takes away a big part of your headache. So there we go. On to the next one though, which combines both of these things, hybrid amplifiers. So blending the best of both worlds, they take a tube and put that in the preamp section and then have a solid state power amp. So this combines the classic tube character with the stability of solid state technology. And what that means is that you don't have to worry about retubing the power amp section because that gets really expensive. I have this bass power amp out there, by the way, that Ampeg SVT2 Pro. It's all tube, and just to retube that power amp section is $400. It's crazy. So that's why a lot of times you just see me using the SansAmp RBI. What's that thing, like $300? I use it all the time, sounds great. There's companies like Vox and Orange that have created these amazing hybrid amps, which are giving you that classic warmth and also the modern precision of solid state in making it so you don't have to go and repair your stuff all the time. I think it's the best of both worlds, and it's really sad that this never caught on. Not yet anyways. We don't know what the future holds, but to me, it just made the most sense ever. But anyways, that's what we're going to be giving away today, a hybrid amp. It's going to be the Orange Micro Dark amplifier. And all you have to do that is to leave a comment and share this. Oh, and you have to be a subscriber, but obviously you already are because you did that when I asked you to do it earlier, right? Because that's what everyone does. They watch YouTube videos and they just keep pushing that red button. Anyways, that's what we're going to be giving away, the Orange Micro Dark, which is a hybrid amplifier. But we're not done yet. We have to jump into the future of modeling technology. So these digital modelers use cutting-edge technology so that they can mimic the sounds of tons of different amplifiers and put that all into one neat little package for you. Not only amplifiers, but the cabinets and sometimes effects, all that. It depends on which modeler that you have. Pioneering brands like Line 6, Kemper, Fractal, Neural DSP, they've modeled these amplifiers that bring you classic tube tones, tons of high gain on tap, and they're doing that all in one amp. So you could essentially have every amp in one. How can you beat that? And imagine going back in time and telling someone that you would be able to have every amp that ever existed in one housing unit. People would think that you were crazy, right? So let's talk about Kemper's new liquid profiles. What they've introduced now is the ability for it to capture multiple snapshots of the same amplifier and put it into one profile. I'm trying to think of the easiest way to break this down. Before, if you had a Kemper and you had the same rig and you wanted different tones from that same head, you would have to take a snapshot and make that one profile and then twist the knobs around and make it another profile. Now, they have made it so all of those snapshots of the gain knob and the EQ sections fall under one profile. So when you're turning it, it's the same as if you were doing it on the amp. And that is a long overdue update that everyone has been waiting for. So shout out to everyone at Kemper that made that possible. I can't wait to try that out, and I might just do a video on that later. And just like I said in that video before, they did this without having to make a Kemper 2 or doing some kind of additional device that was outside of it that it would run. They didn't have to do anything. They did it in the same unit that has been there since what, 2012, 2013? So shout out to them for keeping the same energy. We're gonna play these all back now, labeling which one was each. Which of these did you get right? Leave that in the comments below because I'm curious to know what you guys thought about that. Maybe that can be something that you talk about. So if you were wondering what that final one was, it was Toneforge Disruptor. I didn't initially put that in the list because it's not really an amp like the other ones are, like a physical hardware device. It's more of like a guitar suite, which will take you from the beginning to the end of your entire processing chain. So let's take a listen to that because it replicates Dino's JCM 800, and let's put it against the JCM 800 that I have in the room over there. So if you love the sound that you just heard, all you have to do is download your free trial of Toneforge Disruptor today by clicking the link in the description below. Well, there you have it, my friends, the 5 types of amplifiers that are shaping the sound of music each and every day. So if you didn't have an amp already or you were looking to grab one, what do you think is going to be the choice that you make after listening to these back to back with the same DI and same impulse response? Let us know in the comments below, and make sure to share this with your fellow guitarists, especially if you're trying to win that orange micro dark amplifier. It's pretty simple to do. So we went over tube amplifiers, solid state amplifiers, hybrid amplifiers, digital modelers, and even guitar amp suites. Did it all in this single video. So if you guys want to see more stuff like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button, like button, and notification bell one more time. If you're an engineer on the come up, give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. You only have to do it one time, and tap that bell for notifications so when a video drops, you know the location. Till next time, my friends, I'll catch you later.